Hello, good day. Welcome to our lecture for the physical geodesy or the GE 106. So today we will going to discuss the last topic, which is the topic 8, all about the structure and dynamics of the Earth. And this slide is for the authors and contributors of these materials or the author of this presentation. And this slide again is for the copyright notice. So this indicates that all of the materials for the physical geodesy or any major subject or course in geodetic engineering department will is not allowed to disseminate unless otherwise or unless with the permission of the department and the author itself for this specific subject. For our discussion this day, we'll be digging with these following outlines. The first one is the Earth's structure, the cross-section of the Earth, the changes of the Earth's surface, the theory of the continental drift, no? Seafloor spreading, so which supplement the theory of continental drift, the theory of the plate tectonics, what are the plate boundaries, and the earthquake and seismic cycles and the scaling laws. So basically, this lecture is just a recall or maybe somehow review of your GEOL 100 or the principles of geology. And for this specific topic, these are the following intended learning outcomes. The first one is to describe the structure of the Earth as well as its cross-section. Next is the discussion of the changes of the Earth's surface and explain the theory of continental drift and plate tectonics, describe the seafloor spreading and plate boundaries, describe an earthquake and its seismic cycle, and analyze the scaling laws. So for to start, let's begin with the Earth's structure. So basically ato ni siyang recall sa inyong GE 100 ay GEOL 100. So if we are going to dig in down our to the Earth, these are the following layers that we can find. The first one is the crust. As we all know this one, since paman siguro ni sa inyong elementary or high school introduce na ni siya. The three layers which is the crust, the mantle, and the core. Si crust is the rocky or the outer layer. Mantle is the middle, and the core is the center of the earth. And this has been divided into two. Ang core, the outer core and the inner core. The inner core is the solid, the outer core is liquid. And if we're going to visualize the cross-section of the Earth, so this is the figure, the crust, thin layer na siya, then the mantle, the middle, and the core, which consists of the inner and outer core. And then we also know there has been changes on our Earth's surface. As we all know, sa yung GEOL pa, before there is a one supercontinent pa. Karon is nagkabulag-bulag na siya. And then it's mainly because of the Earth is really dynamic. So manatuod na nag-discuss man taan ni sir nga namin sa yung GEOL 100. So we all know again, Earth is dynamic, and our subject or the features that we want to measure is nasa surface sa Earth. So if that surface is moving or dynamic, so also our measurements is dynamic, mag-change gid na siya, especially sa atong elevation, di ba? Atong elevation kung naay system of dynamics, kanang landslide, magka-soil erosion, ma-change ang elevation due to anthropogenic activities. So it's important to know that these factors is normal in nature, labi na di na to pwede mapugngan, di ba, ang baha, di na to mapugngan ang landslide, So mahitabo gid na siya. It's because again we are in the active belt, no? We are sitting in the Pacific Ring of Fire. So shapes and position of the continents make up a very familiar image, no? As you already know. And then the Earth's surface is very dynamic, no? Dili gid na siya kung ang forma sa tuang continents karon or sa Earth is this one. So it might be, or di siya it might be, it would be, no, different phase or different na form after how many years, no? So syempre wala na ta sa kalibutan. And then some of the triggering factors are not natural or in nature, no? Kaning earthquakes, no, maglinog, no? Karon gani siguro sa lately daghan kitag na experience ng mga earthquake, no, sa ato ang katong pila to ka magnitude nga gabi na hitabo, a night na hitabo. So and even, no, structures ato ang college kay nadaot tungod sa linog, no, dahinang hall. So mo nang gi-construct siya balik karon, no, sa ilalom sa first floor. And other phenomena, no, that can change, no, the face of the planets for millions of years. So discuss na niyo thoroughly sa inyong geology, no, so more on recall lagid tani nga na topic. And then some or the key geological theory that explains how the surface are changing, it's because of this theory of plate tectonics. So nagsakay ta sa mga plato or plate, no, na mag-trigger, no, anytime, no, nga ma-trigger siya. So mag-change, mag-move, no. So mo nang it's important also to know this phenomena kay major siyang activity nga makaapekto sa ato ang measurements, especially the heights or even the coordinates, diba? So the first theory is the theory of continental drift, no. So this is introduced to us by the Alfred Wegener. He says that in 1912 he says that all of the continents were once joined in a single supercontinent. Ang name ana niya is Pangaea. So I know you already know that, no. The supercontinent isa lang siya, no. And then Wegener suggested that Pangaea began to break all about 200 million years ago, and then na separate siya into piece, no, or pieces, no, nga nagdrift apart from each other, no. So nagkatunga-tunga siya, mura siya og biskwit nga nagipang buak-buak, no, tapos nagka-spread hangtod na naka-form og another continents. So that's based on Alfred Wegener. Ang iyang theory is all about continental drift. And then at that time, Wegener theory of continental drift was dismissed by geologists, no, during that time, because he could not provide a convincing explanation on how these continents were able to move. So that's based on his understanding, pero dili siya madawat sa society, especially sa mga geologists before, due to the lack of explanation or due to a lack of convincing explanation nga tuuhan ang theory of continental drift. So the theory of continental drift was developed over time due to the combined efforts of many pioneering scientists, no. So naay mga nag-disagree, naapoy ni agree sa iyaha. So the debate still not settled, no, because of this murag lahi-lahi og perspective ba. And then the theory had to battle against many criticism rather, but ultimately it became one of the great milestones in our understanding, no, of the Earth's structure. Until now, no, ginatudlo na gid ni sa tuwa nga naadjud ang theory of continental drift. So again, niagi siya og different debates, different arguments, but still, no, up until now ginagamit na, no, nga ang there is a continental drift and the theory is being proven. And according to the theory of continental drift, the position of the continents on the Earth's surface have changed over time, no? Ka-change siya kay naay movements, no? Again, dynamic man ang atong earth kay ang earth is moving, earth is rotating, so therefore naagi movement nga mahitabo. So under the continental drift, so naay another explanation, gitawag siya seafloor spreading. So this was proposed by Harry Hess, no? In seafloor spreading daw, the two ocean plates move away from each other, resulting to the formation of another oceanic crust. So basically, nag-move away daw, no, ang ocean plates para nagka murag ni sipak-sipak ba, no? Ni buak tapos ni spread, mo gitawag siya seafloor spreading, and then naka-create og another big area which is kanang another continent na pod siya. So this explains, no, this explanation supplements or supports, no, the theory of continental drift. Then seafloor spreading is a geologic process, as we all know that, na in which daw the tectonic plates or kanang big chunk, no, of our earth lithosphere are being splitted apart from each other, ni separate, no, nagbuwag, no, from the big ones na tunga, tapos na nabuak or na split tapos nagbulag. So that's basically the process, no, or the geologic process. Then seafloor spreading occurs at divergent plate boundaries. Divergent. No, divergent is magbuwag, di ba? Convergent is mag-abot. And then, as tectonic plates slowly move away from each other, the heat from the mantle's convection currents makes the crust more plastic and less dense. The less dense material rises, and often forming a mountain or elevated area of the seafloor. So less dense daw, so naay ma-form nga mountains or elevated area. So that's why, no, naay seafloor spreading. It's because of usually nahitabo siya sa divergent na mga plate boundaries. Okay, the next theory is the theory of plate tectonics. This supports again or parang this supplements again on the seafloor spreading na explanation. According to this theory, the Earth's crust daw is like a jigsaw puzzle, a big jigsaw puzzle, na ang katong mga pieces of puzzles are the tectonic plates. So mag-move na siya anytime, mag-create na siya og movement anytime, then matrigger siya, tapos na yung movement mo nang diha may tabo pod usually ang mga earthquakes, no? Kay mao man na ang boundary sa tuang plato, no, or the plates. So this is the plates, no, all throughout our globe, no, or our earth. So naay makita ninyo dira nga mga different plates, no, in colors. And then these plates just float, no, on the top of the earth mantle, and so can move around and on the earth's surface. So naay changes, no, mag-diverge, mag-converge, depende, no, sa plastada sa plates, no. So that's why, no, makita ninyo dira usually na mga mountains man sa Philippines is na murag na mountainous areas, no, na apoy flat areas. It's because katong mga mountainous areas mostly formed, no, kay naman siya boundary sa plates, no, or tectonic plates from the other, no, other or with corresponds to other plates also. And then these are the major tectonic plates and several minor plates. So naay mga major kanang dagko, of course, and then mga minor plates kanang mga gagmay. And plate tectonics daw, in definition, is a scientific theory that explains how major landforms are being created, no, kanang makabantay ka nga na ay mountainous areas na po'y flat areas, or makabantay mo nga after sa mountains kay flat dayon, no, and then with respect or with the result of subterranean movements or earth subterranean movements. The theory or the theory of plate tectonics, which solidifies in the years 1960, transformed the earth sciences by explaining many phenomena, including how mountain buildings are being formed, how volcanoes occurs, and how earthquakes are being triggered. No? So this theory will supplement no on explanation on why there is a movement, why there is a kanang magbuto ang mga volcanoes, nganong na ay earthquakes. So this is supplemented no, it's because of this theory. And in plate tectonics theory, Earth's outmost layer, or what we call the lithosphere, made up of the crust and the upper mantle, is being broken into large rocky plates. Na mga dagko kay siya nga chunks of of the rocky plates, and these plates lie on the top of the partially molten layer rock called the asthenosphere. No? So after mo na siyang murag si plates are situated or on the top of this asthenosphere. So mo nang naa siya some sort of dali nga movement. And then due to the convection of the asthenosphere and lithosphere, the plates move relatively to each other at different rates. No? Of course, no, based also it's because of the pressure no beyond no sa ilalom no below sa to ang mga plates. That is why na ay mga triggering factor no nga maka-create na move siya. And then these plates daw are relatively move to each other at different rates or different kakusgo no. And in average daw it can range on 2 to 15 centimeters per year. Imagine pila na siya kadako no. So after how many years, or 1 to 6 inches daw per year. So imagine ingana ka paspas ang pag-rate. So that's why the earth is dynamic in nature, and then it can move no at that specific rate. And then this interaction of the tectonic plates is responsible for many geological formations, such as the formation of the Himalaya Mountains, the African Rift, and the San Andreas Fault in California, United States. So again, no, this theory will suffice or will explain how these mountains and mountain ranges, rift, and fault is being formed no sa ato ang earth. Okay, da kami mga tanong anong naingana. So again, I'm not geologist, but you already know that in your Geol 100 no, which explains more deep. And so ga-recall lang ta and how these are being into no the application of geodetic engineering, because again no, the earth is moving, so naay mga changes no based on these different theories in geology. So naay movement, so if there's movement nagid na siya changes pod sa atuang measurement. So that's why nagid na ang error always no, dili gid na siya ma-perfect na pila ka years balikan nimo nagid na changes. It's because of the again anthropogenic activities ano na may uban no, pero one of it is the dynamic earth, or the structure of our earth, or the structure and dynamics of our earth. So the plate boundary no, these are the areas where the two tectonic plates meet no. Ang tawagan na niya is plate boundary. So kung naatay lot boundary, napuntay plate boundary. Mountains are volcanoes daw, and ocean trenches are formed at the plate boundaries, and earthquakes are more likely to occur here no kung naa kay plate boundaries no, makabantay mo sa ato ang east side in the Philippines no, naa na siya trench di ba diya no. So that's why gina-visit gid ta always og earthquakes kay tapad naman ta og plate boundary. So kana no, trenches, and then naapod siya yung mountainous area. Manang sa side, east side, usually naa diha ang mga mountainous areas. And then there are three different types of the plate boundary. Each one is being characterized based on the movement of the plates and how it's affect to the Earth's surface. The first one is convergent. It's meant to say, convergent, the plates are colliding, no, nag-abot. Divergent, moving apart or spread. And then transform, these plates are slide past to each other. So like the picture in the slide, no, nag-slip lang siya, no? Or nag-slide to each other. So that's the three different classification of plate boundaries. So in slip fault, tectonic plates daw are sliding past to each other horizontally, no? Horizontally ang iyang movement. Strike slips faults like one that devastated Haiti don't generally cause the tsunami or the atong, di ba, I think it's 2000 something, no, 2000 to 2010 nahitabo dira atong tsunami sa Haiti, which caused many damages, no, to the area, no, na ay mga buildings na daot tungod adto niya, no. And then except for small local ripples, the Haiti earthquake was horizontally in motion, no. Ang iyang motion daw is horizontal. So that's the reason nga nung na atong earthquake sa Haiti that resulted to tsunami. And then tsunamis are caused by either uplifting the ocean floor or by huge chunk of land sliding into the ocean. Then subduction zone earthquakes raise in the ocean bottom suddenly to push the water in tsunami. So ang tsunami daw, if ever na ay movement, no, nga naa sa dagat, nga it can make the ocean floor uplift, or in subduction zone earthquakes daw, ang ocean bottom can raise, no, and pushes the water to create a high waves, no, that can create tsunamis. So the next one is the earthquake and seismic cycle. So I'm not going to explain this one by one, but you already know this one. Earthquake, no, when you say earthquake, it's a sudden release of strain or stress, no, from the crust or the mantle. So mao nang na time ma-experience na earthquake, it's because of naay movement, no. Ngano nag-move, it's due to the stress. Kung plate tectonics manggaling ang reason, so nag-move siya in a snap of time, no, murag tungod sa di na niya kaya i-hold ang stress between the two boundaries, mo slip siya mo at that instant of time na move siya in a sudden. It's because di na niya kaya. So that's the basis ng na earthquake. Or it can be na ay volcanic eruption, no, it can be on the in our Earth's terrain or in our sa oceans, no, sa ilalom sa tubig. So mao nang na ay earthquake na mahitabo. So earthquake is really common, especially in the active, no, nga mga active areas such as the Philippines, kay we are just situated beside, no, the plate boundaries. So munang gitawag siya Pacific Ring of Fire because the Philippines, no, is part of the Pacific Ring of Fire. It's because active, no, sorry, active ang fault. It's because of naay mahitabo ng earthquake in normally, no, it's because active gani siya. So napay mga volcanoes, no, active pud siya, especially sa underwater volcanoes. And then the seismic cycles is the vibrations no nga na create from the earthquake. So naa siya seismic waves nga mahitabo no. And then kanang movement na kanang shake nga ma-feel nato, those are the vibrations or the seismic waves nga ma-encounter or ma-feel nato after there is a movement no. No, muna natagitawag nga intensity and magnitude. So different na sila no. And you already know that what's the difference between the intensity and the magnitude. So that's why no na seismic waves after there is an earthquake. So when we say cycle or seismic cycle, it refers to the observation that earthquakes repeatedly rupture a given part of the fault. The term cycle there does not however imply that earthquakes are periodic or regularly repeating in nature. In other words daw, cycle does not imply the earthquakes are natural phenomenon that have clock-like behavior like rising and setting of the sun. No, basin makakuan mo bang ma-predict din nato ang earthquake sir kay it's because cycle man siya no. Instead, the seismic cycle can be divided down into 3 periods. The first one is seismic sleep, co-seismic sleep, and post-seismic sleep. So mo ni pasabot sa cycle. So more siya before, during, and after. So unsa daw imong ma-feel no in before, the during, and after. So murag nga na siya ba pag if ever na naay dako na linog, for sure nagid na siya aftershocks. So inga na ang pasabot sa cycle. That's how the seismic cycle is being defined. So when we say interseismic sleep, it refers to the strain that accumulates steadily between the earthquake that irregularly but repeatedly rupture in fault. Kanang red daw. No, red na lines. So mo siya pasaka per minute. And then the co-seismic sleep refers to the sleep that occurs at that instant of the earthquake, the green lines. Mo ni pasabot ang during. No, interseismic mura siya og katong wala pa ni siya na release ang pressure no between the two boundaries. So magkataas ang strain hangtod na mo sa tawag ana mo release ang iyahang pressure. So kanang pag-release, so that's the co-seismic sleep. And then the post-seismic refers to the sleep that occurs in the days, months, and sometimes year after the earthquake. So kanang mga blue lines above. So mo nang mga kanang gitawag nila na naapa daw na siya after shocks no nga mahitabo. So that's the post seismic sleep. So mo ni pasabot sa seismic cycle kanang tulo. And then the cumulative motion along the fault patch through many seismic cycles is responsible for significant displacement that can occur along the fault. So sila ang kanang cycle, the seismic cycle, those are the reason nganong naatay significant displacement or changes along the fault line. So mo nang naay changes in elevation, changes in the position. It's because of these movements. For example daw, the Andreas Fault in Central California has accumulated 315 kilometers of offset during the lifetime. For typical co-seismic sleep with 5 meters and 200-year average interseismic period, how long would the sleep have been continued to generate this much offset? So, gi-calculate ang seismic periods based on the displacement of the accumulated displacement. So based on this calculation, that's around 12.6 million years ang iyang cycle. So out from these different displacement is horizontally or vertically, so it can calculate 12.16 million years in Andreas Fault. Scaling laws, so in this specific figure, there is a relationship between the length of the rupture versus the magnitude of the earthquake. If it is linearly related or exponentially related to each other. So if you are going to compare this one, you can determine if ang iyabang relationship is linear ba. So kung may linear, pwede rin mo siya interpolate directly based on its rupture and then the magnitude versus the magnitude of the earthquake. So as you can see in the slide, kaning nakit-ani mo siya, linearly fit man siya. So ang ilahang relationship to each other is directly linear to each other, while the other one is naka-exponential. I think it's exponential, kinaka-bend man siya or quadratic. So depende na siya sa sa mga earthquakes nga mo occurs at that specific area or in the location. So again, I'm not an expert for this one to explain this, pero based on my knowledge, so that's how I explained it. But I think it is being discussed in your GEOL 100, so I hope that you can recall this from your GEOL 100 or Principles of Geology. Basta kay why are we discussing this one in relation to our subject, which is the physical geodesy. It's merely based on understanding that our Earth is dynamic in nature, and our Earth is moving, and our Earth is conducting dynamics in terms of its systems. So naay mga changes that could affect on the our measurements. Basin matingala mo nga dapat sakto ni kay dapat ingani ang measurements nganong amang di discrepancy, because again, one of the reasons for that, especially in the vertical, is the dynamics of our Earth's structure. So more on a main point of discussing this topic in relation to the physical geodesy. And that's all for the topic 8, and I hope that this video will supplement your knowledge in physical geodesy, at the same time in answering the assessment for the physical geodesy topic 8. So if you have ever questions, you can directly message me in the LMS, or you can message me in the Facebook page. Thank you so much for listening this video, and see you again on our classes or even our recorded lecture video. Thank you so much.